lived his worship. He did that from his youth. David's worship was uncompromising. He didn't compromise his worship. He did that from his youth. And finally, David witnessed through his worship. Psalm 57:9 says, I will praise thee, O Lord, among the people. I will sing unto thee among the nations. David's worship was public. He didn't just have private worship. David was unashamed to proclaim God's name for everybody to hear. In fact, he meant for his worship to be heard so that it would lead other people to God. Your worship is a witnessing tool. You do know that everybody who comes to church is not saved, right? Amen. As a matter of fact, come on, let's do a check right now. Look at your neighbor and say, maybe are you saved? Look at the other one and say, what about you? What about you? You saved? Now, most people are not going to say to you, no, I ain't saved. But the reality is that there's somebody here that's lost and ain't saved. And they may have come with weight on their shoulder. So you don't know what anybody is going through in here today. When we come to church with our game face on. Oh, come on here. See, we come to church with our poker face. Somebody play poker. You play it on the computer if you don't gamble. You downloaded it on your phone. Well, when you got on your poker face, you don't look. You ain't trying to let nobody know what's going on in your hand. You just looking serious. And some folks, when they come to church on Sunday morning, they come here with a poker face on. And they tell themselves when they get in the car, all right, let's get myself together. I'm on my way to church. I don't want anybody to see. I don't want anybody to think that something's wrong with me. I don't want them to actually see that I'm stressing out. Let me see what my eyes look like. Put a little extra stuff under my eyes and keep the bags. So let the bags look down. Come on, trying to help me. Y'all pray for me here. I need to put a little something in my hair because I got a few more grades today. And somebody going to see these extra grades and they're going to think that I've been stressing. Lord Jesus, let me try to get myself together so that they won't know. And then they get to church and the saints are here. The people of God. The ones who love God with all of their hearts, minds, and souls. The ones who know of the power of God's deliverance. And when that person that's lost and struggling sees the child of the King in worship, it provokes a thought in that person's mind. What is it that have him acting that way? What is it that's causing her to jump to her feet? Why is my neighbor yelling to the top of their voice? Why is that lady on the other side of the church jumping up and down? It's a test. And you know what? Some of them are brave enough to ask you why you shout. Sister Gwen, why you shout so much? And somebody here ought to be able to witness and testify. You see, I testify about it. You know, I didn't always shout. I told y'all that earlier. I didn't always shout. I don't care anymore. I'll shout anywhere, at any time, in any place. If you give me some room, I'm going to get my shout on. And if I ain't got shout room, I'll just shake. Because I know what God has been to me. Your worship is a witnessing tool. Somebody can get closer to God just by watching you worship. Lord have mercy. You do know worship is contagious. Worship is, I tell people all the time, see, y'all don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. I pay attention to stuff in every church I go to. It does not matter, just by any church I go to, I have what I call hot spots in the building. Somebody knows something about a hot spot in the church. You see, when there's a hot spot in the church, the first thing that they indicate is that the whole church ain't on fire. That indicates that there are one or two cold spots. But whenever you find a hot spot, it's a cluster of noise makers. Because noise makers have a tendency of sitting close to each other. See, ain't nothing worse for me. God is my witness. Ain't nothing worse for me than to come to church and sit out in the pews, and the person who I'm sitting on side needs to be at Southern Memorial. That is dead. Ain't nothing worse than me. Ain't nothing worse than me. Because that bothers me. I'm trying to get my praise on, and I'm bothered, because somehow people all around me is just dead. Everybody looking lost and strange. So people who praise like to sit around each other. And there's something about a hot spot, because if the hot spot is really hot, it'll spread. And it'll spread to a dead area. That's how I started my worship. I was in church one revival night, and it had gotten hot, and I wasn't sitting in the hot spot. I was sitting behind the hot spot. That's what happened. And I can remember it now just like it happened last night, because I felt the praise coming toward me. And then I felt it because people on this side and people on that side got fired up. And then the folks, the ushers, I always sat close to the ushers. Now, I'm not going to make an indication or anything about that, but when I used to sit close to the ushers, I was close to the door. Anyway, so the ushers got heated up back there behind me. And before I knew it, something was in me. Lord have mercy. Now, if you ain't never felt it, I can't explain it to you to make you know what it feels like. But whatever the thing is hits you and hits you right, you ain't going to be able to help